Hello all of you. At different periods in historical periods it is believed that the Earth is rectangular, box shape, a J shape like a cupcakes, or even pear-shaped. Today we will give an opinion that the Earth is shaped like an orange, with a very thick outer shell. Inside the planet are orange zones. There are thick outer skins representing the extremely mysterious outer protection layer. Protect us from harmful effects. In fact, the outer shell is the Earth's force. An invisible armor covered us. However, the security class has become less reliable lately. According to scientists, there is more and more weakness in these protective membranes. So what happens if the planet hits us? The entire death of the Earth was formed 4.2 billion years ago, and now has expanded more than 600,000 kilometers from the planet of our hit. Researchers believe that this great invisible class of secrets lies in our Earth, where the internal and external hardware is the layer of fire. When the Earth rotates, creates friction between these two parts and results in static. According to the principle of dynamics, the uterus appears in electrostatic environments. Our planet can be considered a giant magnetic dipole, especially the South Pole in the north and the North Pole in the south. Interesting in that the geographic pole and the magnetic pole differ only slightly. The axial axis is also tilted by the Earth's axis of rotation by an angle of 11.6 degrees, but the difference is not great, and thanks to this we can use the compass. The arrow of the compass is only accurate to the South Pole, and only a slight deviation will point to the North geographic pole. No magnetic force in this range can be seen with the naked eye, but there are many other inhabitants on the Earth who can identify them clearly. For example, the death zone migratory birds are reliable landmarks so they don't get lost during a long journey. Magnetic force is also a location for marine turtles, and even for dairy cows, whether you believe it or not. The unusual talent of this slow companion is through satellite images of 8,500 distinct cows from 308 separate regions of the world. However, we humans simply cannot see or feel this word in any way we know. However, unlike low-level animals, we can enjoy the beautiful beauty of the aurora or color band in the north. Gas in the uterus area is affected by a strong solar wind. Our invisible death zone keeps some ionized elements of a solar wind from entering above to divert them to two poles. In some locations, some ginseng particles enter the air. They sparkle when exposed to air and nitrogen. The Earth's planet is quite unique. No planet is surrounded by such a great power. Indeed, if there is no death in our life, it is almost impossible to exist. Due to the impact of extremely strong radar waves, in Mars and their Venus star, the uterus is extremely small. In addition, it is assumed that due to the release of solar wind, those plants seem to be exhausted. Unfortunately, we are so likely to be able to, for a short time we will lose magnetic protection. The researchers behind this hypothesis report that the current intensity of magnetic forces is decreasing 10 times faster than before. With this rate of decline, about 2,000 years later, the magnetism class will completely disappear. The most recently measured consequences of one of three crystals have been launched to facilitate the study of the Earth's death. With this rate of decline, about 2,000 years later, the magnetism class will completely disappear. The most recently measured consequences of one of three crystals have been launched to facilitate the study of the Earth's death. But there is another reason for this weakness that is a mysterious mystery that confuses our geologists, something that is happening in Africa. An unknown power is forming force from a sharp decline from Chile to Zimbabwe. In this large area, the magnetic field is 3 times weaker than all other regions. Scientists call this phenomenon the South Atlantic anomaly. There is an assumption that the depth reduction in some way has a dense concentration of magma lava flow between the core and the Earth. But this lava flow is 2,900 kilometers below the surface of the African continent. Most likely this abnormality has evolved as 10 million years ago. However, there is no evidence to support this egg. In any case, scientists believe that the region's magnetic deficiencies have reduced all magnetic forces across the globe. The magnetic field strength is so strong that it will soon overturn the entire world, side to side on our planet, along with the displacement of 2.